What's up guys, it's Phoenix. Today was my first ever HVAC rough-in on a new job site, and I wanted to take you along the process from making boxes, hanging duct, cutting in collars, and taping everything up. I got a full taste of what it looks like to do real install work. Let me show you how it went. The first step was making the boxes that go in each room. These are the supply boxes where the duct connects to the vent, so they've got to be solid. I built them and added the drives on the side so we could screw them to the roof and lock them into place. Getting the boxes square is important, or the vent won't sit right later. The drives made it a lot easier to secure the boxes tight to the roof. It was also cool seeing how the pieces I made would later be the vents people see in the room. I thought it was awesome and I had a great time making these things. It was super relaxing, just folding them, hitting it, button locking it. It was awesome. I had a fun time. This was actually my first box I've ever hung. So you add 3 screws from the inside, and then on the side where I bent them in the last clip, you add 2 screws, and then where it's really long, you bend them, and then you screw into the other wall. So I had to do that probably like 5 or 6 times around the whole downstairs, which was actually very fun. And then you got to put a tape measure to make sure that they're lined up. So you'll see me do that. I had so much fun doing this. This is honestly one of my favorite parts.
With a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes and lower sugar, Gatorlight hydrates fast to replace the electrolytes you lose in sweat. Gatorlight, made for rapid rehydration. Get ready for the all-new Universal Mega Movie Summer at Universal Studios Hollywood, because there's something in the fun.
If there's parts where it's very quiet and there's not a lot of me talking, the guys were playing a lot of copyrighted music, so I was not able to keep the audio from the clips in. But thank you guys for bearing with me. I still had a fun time, and I'll make sure to voice over as much as I can. So this is not related at all to this, but I actually started college 2 weeks ago. I'm on HVAC 3, and this is like the refrigerant slash air. We're learning about all like the kinds of stuff about refrigerant. I actually take my EPA test on October 2nd of this year. So I'm trying to study for that, and then also I have my midterms on the 11th of September. So there's a lot to be looking forward to, a lot of work on, a lot of things that a lot of things are like falling into place. You know what I mean? I think it's awesome. I'm thankful that I've been able to get videos out so far. Hopefully I can keep up every 2 weeks, but yeah, I'm really enjoying class. Class is fun. I'm learning a lot. You know, honestly, having a job in the field really helps me understand, and it's actually helped me a lot in class. Also, me measuring with the tape measure, it has to be at least 6 feet away from a window. So that was another thing I learned on this rough-in, but we got it all secured and we just moved on to the next one. The way to know if it's level is you actually have to put a tape measure from like one corner to the other corner, and then the other corner to the other corner, if that makes sense. So you're measuring like like an X kind of. You're measuring like an X, and let's say it's like five. Let's say it's like 5.5, and the other side's like 4. Well, then you're obviously uneven, and you have to try to like even up those numbers like as close as you can get them, which seems easy, but it's kind of difficult. But you know, I still enjoy it. There was some times I did need a little help, or I was kind of confused. Again, this is also my first rough-in. This is also my first rough-in, so I wasn't too familiar with it, but I'm still having a great time. And this is only the first day. We got a lot accomplished day one. So we were getting ready to finish up for the day. The boxes, almost all the boxes were done being screwed in the bottom and everything. And you know, the day's about to be over. We're about to start cleaning up. Probably like we had like an hour to finish. And then this is what we hear. And I was just whistling away. I was having a chill time. Bro, let me say that thunder was loud. There was some really loud ones, and we had to clean up. But that was it for day one.
Ooh.
This was before all the bad ones came. That was just a little thunder that we heard. It's kind of like the pre-show, but everything's good. Just screwing these little boxes, just whistling away, listening to music. You know, I really like new construction. A lot of people love it. A lot of people hate it, but bro, this is honestly one of like the best times I've ever had. Just chilling, learning a lot, learning a bunch of different things that I've never learned before. But it was a great time, and I honestly, truly had a blast. I think the next one's gonna be a lot quicker because I understand.
Oh yeah, that's freaking good, dude. Shoot. Yeah.
I didn't realize how much copyrighted music was in there, so now I'm just trying to make up all the gaps. But on a rough-in, if you guys don't know, all you do is you hang up all the boxes, you hang up all the duct, you just do all those things, and then by the time the house is about to be ready to be put on the market, you're gonna install the units. So the furnace is already installed, but you'll install the condensing unit, you'll hook everything up, you'll charge it, you'll light everything. and then it should be good to go. There isn't really a whole bunch you got to do. You have to add the vent covers on. You'll have to do like little stuff, but this is where the bulk of the work happens. So hopefully one of these days we go back and we do the finishing touches, and I can do a little kind of part 2 to this. But yeah, other than that, you just kind of do all the hard labor, and then you go back and it's super chill. Oh yeah, look at all that rain, dude. It was pouring on us. But that was it for day 1. We're just cleaning up all the ladders, getting all the screws, and here we are on day 2. So I put the collar on there, and then I traced it, and then I just cut a circle around. If you guys saw what I was doing there, I used the little flathead. Well, it's actually a pretty thick flathead. I used that to cut a line straight down, and then when I was kind of pushing it forward, I just needed a little bit bigger of a gap to fit my snips in. Then after I was done cutting a circle, I attached the collar and hung all the ducts. Doing that by myself for the first time took forever. But now that I understand it, now that I have the hang of it, I swear it is going to be so much easier the next time. Hopefully I can get it done like 10 times faster. This duct is lined on the inside, and let me tell you, cutting out the inside of the insulation is seriously the most satisfying thing I've ever done. Just listen to how nice this sounds, listen to how smooth it is, and I don't know what it is, but it is like seriously my favorite part about cutting out collars.
Bless you. Yes, sir.
If you guys see here, I was creating all these little, like, I don't know what you would want to call them, I guess like little ridges, so that I can fold it on the inside of where I cut, so that then I can screw it and then pookie it to seal it. So that's the tool you got to use. You got to manually chop out every single one. So my wrist kind of got a little tired, but it was very interesting. I used so many different tools that I've never used, and it was honestly most of it was strictly for the metal. So I unraveled the duct, and I just threw it over, and then just went back over and threw it. And I don't know why. I think I didn't take video, but I attached the collar. I screwed it in, poked it in, got it all done. Then I just strapped the duct, I taped it first, then tandem strapped it, and the duct was good to go, and then just ran it across and then hung it. It actually, after I got all like the like small things done, it actually went up pretty quick. As you guys can see, the duct was all done. I had it all attached, and then I hung it all, and it actually looked pretty good. I would not say I did half bad, but yeah, I got it all hung up. I got everything all done. So moving on to the upstairs, I actually don't know what these are called, but I made them. You took a little flat piece of sheet metal, and then you did like a whole bunch of cheat codes while bending it. But I just know it goes on, and then you button it, and then yeah, I mean honestly, you have the lips that they needed. But this took me a hot minute to kind of like figure out how to bend them. I did like 4 at the shop. I don't have videos of it sadly, but looking back, you don't realize how much you should have recorded until you didn't record it, and then you realize. But this was pretty simple. Everything I did was simple. It just took time, you know what I mean? Especially since I've never done it. Like, it takes a little time to get used to. But as soon as I got the hang of things, we were already almost done with it. So I hope for the next rough-in, it should be a lot easier for me to grasp everything just because I've already done it. You know? Truthfully, I love new construction. I truly wish I could do a lot more. But I got all those things attached, and that was honestly pretty much it. It is currently about midnight. It is currently midnight by the time I'm editing this. But, the grind never stops. But, anyways, this is the zone system, which means it powers upstairs, or heats and cools anyway, upstairs and downstairs off of one unit. So, they have these little dampers in there where if your downstairs thermostat hits 70 degrees before the upstairs, it'll close that set of dampers feeding the downstairs, and it'll just give all the air to the upstairs. It won't provide any air for down there. Because what would happen is the higher you go, the hotter it is. So your upstairs would be a lot hotter than your downstairs. So it would just keep cooling your downstairs until your upstairs was satisfied. So what it does is the damper just, like, you have two. Downstairs, it's kind of like having its own unit. Like having 2 units, but it's just one, if that makes sense. So after I measured, I just put the same thing that I measured onto the duct. So I measured, let's say it was 10 inches, okay? But at the start of the 5 inches, there was that little top thing that was on top. You'll see it right now, and I'll point it out. I don't really know what it's called, so I'm just not going to say a name if I'm not too sure. But I cut a hole, like a little, I measured that little box that's on top, and I measured the hole so that the duct, the wrap, just goes like clean over it, and it fits like pretty much like flush on it. So I'll point it out, but I didn't really know how to make the cut. I just kind of guessed, and it actually worked out in my favor, because if not, I would have been a little upset, would have had to redo it, but it worked out pretty good. So I wrapped all the duct, and honestly, this video comes close to an end. I was new, and they had me doing a lot of stuff by myself, so, which is actually a very, see that little box right there on the left, on top of the little wrap, but right there, my hand's like kind of next to it, on the left. But, you know, I was kind of new, and they like had me do, like, they would show me like hanging up all the little boxes, hanging down the downstairs duct, like all the simple things they had me doing, but it was by myself, so it was kind of like difficult to like kind of like learn it all. But for what I did, I would say I did really good. Again, there's always things, I could name tons of things that I did wrong in this job, and honestly, I would recommend all you guys do the same. I would suggest you either write it down or you just remember the things you do wrong, because there's many dumb mistakes I've made in my life, even like with working, and I can look back and it's like, why did I think it was a smart idea? But history is doomed to repeat itself, so I always make sure that I know what I did wrong. Like on this job, I know that I could have strapped the duct better. I know that I should have had 3 points between the collars in between. I know like I could have done different things better, so I just remember them. So when it comes time to do my next job, I know exactly what I'm doing, know the things that I need to remember, know the things that do matter, know the things that don't. And I think for the next one, it should get done a little faster. But right here, I was just getting these things nailed for the thermostat wire, and honestly, that was it. It was very quick. It was very fun. The 5 days compressed down into this video, 23-minute video, was a very busy week. But it actually flew by very fast. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for supporting the channel. Seriously, I'm having so much fun making these videos. I'm learning a lot more and more, and I'm thankful that I'm thankful that I can do YouTube, doing exactly what I love and just learning as much as I can. If there's any tips you guys have, leave them in the comments, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.